Hello YouTube and welcome to another episode with the aviation enthusiast. Again, another episode on speedy recovery, game world, and today what I'll be talking about is less than a training video than the ones that we've had before, but more to give you about an update in terms of what I need to do to keep going. So you will see the game started in 2015, it's still 2035, and we're about halfway through the game now, just over halfway. And um, I'm just going to go in it, just give you a quick overview to see what's happening. Making cash. I've got loads of money, and what typically happens at this stage for a lot of people is that if they're so comfortable making lots of money, is like they might not pay any more attention, and they might just let their airline just ride and just forget on scheduling. And normally, if it's a long game mode, that I'd be guilty of that as well. I'll just start to focus on other game modes and just let it ride and just keep going. But for this game mode, I've kind of set myself a goal, and I looked at my achievements, and to my surprise, I realized I hadn't unlocked the achievement of reaching an airline with a value of $350 billion. So that's actually now become my objective, and that's what kind of keeps me going for this game mode. So if we were looking at where I am right now, my airline, if we go to just have an overview, just loading, it will come shortly, here we go. If you scroll down a bit further, you'll see my airline value shareholder equity is just over 136 billion, and we've got just under 10 years to go for me to achieve, or actually 9 years to go now, to achieve an extra 200 plus billion to get to 350 billion. So that is quite a challenge, but I feel confident that I can achieve that. And some of the things that I'm doing to achieve that is making more profit, and the way I'm doing that is to keep growing profitably. So there's no point in keep growing for the sake of growing with less profit. So my profit has slowly increased gradually to over 600 million. It's worth noting my maintenance has shot up quite a bit lately because I've got loads of aircraft going into maintenance, but I'm keep maintaining my profit and profit margins, which is good. But another thing you will see if we look at here is my leases is starting to come down. So what this means is I am owning more and more of my aircraft. So if you actually look at it on a quarterly basis, it'll get you a better flavor of what I'm doing with my lease costs. And you can see it topped at about 2 billion per month, and is now more or less at 1.3 billion last quarter that I paid in lease costs. If we look at my fleet, a lot of the leases that I initially leased for 7 to 8 years are coming to an end. I've got the cash, I buy them out, take the D-check hit, and just keep going, and then go forward owned fleet. So as we look at here now, my A320, 19 and 321 fleet is all owned. I'm adding more passenger ones. There's an objective for that, and here these additional A321s, I will be converting them into freighters as soon as they come and load them onto domestic routes out of New York. A330s, I still have quite a few leased ones, and gradually I am replacing these leased ones from all these other models into A330-800neos. So see, I've got more in order, and gradually as the leases end, I just switch them out, and I'll have a much younger fleet as well of A330s going forward. I still got a bunch of A330-200 freighters that are leased, because those were the ones I initially leased for 8 years. They're coming to end of lease, I buy them out, and then I own the aircraft. Actually the same for the A330-200. Okay, they're quite old, but for a freighter that doesn't matter too much. So when these leases end, I will move these schedules onto the A330-800neo, and then I'll buy out the aircraft quite cheaply and convert it into a freighter as well, because I want more and more of the A330-200 freighters. And the same for the 747-800 freighters. I am slowly but surely reducing my leased amount of aircraft, and you see they're quite a relatively young fleet, and they make good money. I need to do quite a bit of scheduling tonight. I have been quite busy at work, so not being able to do this, but there's more room for growth, and my airline is making good money. I'm only still in 2 bases, so New York and Cologne. So one thing I wanted to touch upon as well is as my lease costs are starting to decrease, so what you will notice if you own more fleet is that your depreciation costs will increase. Now, that's a good thing really, because it lowers your profit in a way, so you don't pay that tax on it. But this is not a cash impact. So this actually, if you look at your cash flow statement, let's look at last week, this 113 million appears back on your cash flow statement because it's not actual money that you're paying out. It's just an adjustment on the financial statement, and it improves your cash balance really. So you can see my net operating cash flow when I don't buy aircraft is close to 600 million, and with that I can easily buy a few aircraft from the used market and grow more rapidly as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if I can make the challenge to get there. One thing also compared to the last video is that fuel has gone up quite considerably. It used to be around the 700-800 mark. It's now closer to the 1,000 US dollar mark, and it's been hovering there, it's been going above it. But even with this additional fuel, I'm still making good profit, still pushing my competitors. So there's two ways I'm going to increase my profits further right now. One is squeeze my competition in my headquarters. Now, I've got two competitors, one which is a bit irrelevant because it's quite a small one, but one large competitor, which is here. You see 381 aircrafts, and I've started ramping up some pressure more on domestic cargo routes, and he's starting to see it. And that's why, if you look at his profits, it's gradually starting to come down. Now, even this last quarter, he's starting to make losses, and he's only got 700 million cash, so it's looking optimistic. And he's taken out a loan of already 400 million, so he is going to start hurting quite rapidly if I keep up the pressure. He's opened up Atlanta, but he's only putting leased aircraft there, and I'm not sure that's a wise move. So we will keep up the pressure. If he goes, then my profits will just skyrocket, because suddenly 400 aircraft against me are no longer there. My load factors will shoot through the roof. And then the final option that I have is then open more bases, because I have not got maxed by no means. Look at this. I can have 835 aircraft outside of my base, and I've only got 175. So I can grow a lot more, and I intend to do that. So I'm quite confident that I will reach my target. So there's a graph that I'll show you as well. See, I built a tracker, and in my lines, I'm a fan of Fred sheets, they call them now. They're no longer called spreadsheets, they're called Fred sheets because my name's Fred. And this is something that I'm a big fan of tracking everything, and you will see this. I've got a plan and sort of targets I need to reach each year, and I kind of see if I'm ahead or behind plan in terms of reaching that target to get to the 350 billion. It's looking quite good at the moment, but you never know with world events happening or certain issues. But I'm confident that I will reach the 350 billion achievement, and that will be another achievement that I've unlocked. Now, typically I don't tend to care too much about achievements, but I thought, hey, why not? Let's keep this game world pushing, and it's given me an incentive to keep pushing, really. And we'll see where I also end up in the statistics page, because I think that will help my overall stats and my airline score if I were to achieve better positions as well. And at the moment, I'm not doing too bad when we look at the statistics. Look, I'm second overall in terms of airline score, and that's due to a lot of factors that a lot of my statistics are looking quite good. But there's room for improvement as always. There's no chance I'll be going bust right now. I've got a lot of equity, a lot of cash, and lots of profit. So I'm confident I will reach the end of the game world, and we'll just keep growing. So there probably won't be any more updates on this game world until maybe at the end. I'll do an update to see if I achieved the challenge, see if I reached the 350 billion target. If you got any questions or you want me to look at anything in specific, by all means leave a comment with your question. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you found this useful, and subscribe for any more videos that I'll be releasing on Airwaysim. So thank you for watching, and take care.